This is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today I have a very special treat for you. What we're going to juice today is a pineapple in the Wells Press juicer. Now we're going to juice the whole pineapple, and you know, in the olden days when they juiced apples and grapes and things, they would literally use a press, you know, probably a lot more industrial than this one here. But this is a hand-operated press, so even if you don't have any electricity, you can still juice things. So in most cases, when using the press, you need to do step number one. And step number one is grating up the produce, or at least chopping it up. In the case of things like berries and grapes, you could basically put them in a press cloth or the press bag and then press them out. In the case of a pineapple, what we're going to do today is we're just basically going to skin all the pineapple off, take off the top, and we're just going to cut it up into small little chunks, like basically kind of diced, and then we're going to put it into the Wells press. So let's first take our pineapple. And very important when you're juicing, I like to tell people to select the produce that's going to juice the best. So instead of getting a soft, mushy pineapple that's not going to work too well, you want to get a nice, firm, and ripe pineapple. How I like to look for pineapples is when they're trying to be as yellow as possible and the least amount of green. You know, if you go to Dole, a pineapple factory in Hawaii, they'll tell you which pineapple is ripe, and they'll say they're all ripe and they're picked for the sweetness. But no, in my experience, always when it's more yellow, and you can smell it, smells good, then we got a ripe pineapple. Another trick a lot of people don't know about pineapples, you can take the pineapple, simply twist off the top, and there you go, easily comes off. We can discard that, and now we have the pineapple. And what you're going to do, if you have an organic pineapple, you could actually juice the skin and all, but this is not an organic pineapple, so we're going to cut off all the skin and not juice any of it. So first, what I like to do on preparing the pineapple is we're going to cut off both ends. Once I got both ends off, I like to put this at the edge of the cutting board, and then we're basically just going to cut down and cut off all the skin. If you do leave a few eyes in the pineapple, it's probably going to be all right. You just want to take a look in there and make sure there's no mold or anything funny looking inside each of the eyes. Sometimes I find there's a mold growing. So that's our basically skinned pineapple. Once we got that, then I basically like to just cut it in half. The hardest part of the pineapple is the pineapple core. We'll set these both down. Then we're going to go ahead and cut the pineapple into long strips this direction. Now we're going to cut the pineapple up this direction, make it like nice little pieces. The more you could masticate the produce you're putting into the press, the better it's actually going to work. As I said, in the case of fruits, you don't have to cut them down that far. But it would be the best, actually, if you did run this through a Champion juicer with a blank plate, or a Samson single auger machine, or other single auger juicer to basically mush it all up. Although this is probably going to work fine. This is a really juicy pineapple. All right, that's it. So there's our cut up pineapple. And then once we have the cut up pineapple, the next step is we're going to put that in the press bag. So here is our press bag. And you know what? Your press bag will discolor over time. The carotenoids, for example, in the carrot, which is what gives the carrot the nice orange coloring, which is actually a rich source of nutrition for us, will stain the press bag. It's best just to rinse your press bag out with water, as soap may break down the fibers and it won't last as long. These are nice and heavy-duty press bags. So now we're simply going to just take our pineapples, and we're going to probably take about 1/2 of the pineapple and put that into the press bag. So there you go. That's about 1/2 of the pineapple in the press bag. So here are all our pineapple pieces in the press bag. Very important to fold this over 4 times, much like you're folding a burrito or something like that. Here's one fold on this side. Bring that all the way over. Then we're going to take this side up and tuck that in and fold this over. That's fold number 2. And then 2 more nice and even folds. Fold that up and over. Fold 3. And finally, last fold. Fold it up and over. And that's fold number 4. And then the secret is, when you're juicing with this, you want to put basically all the flaps face down. And then it'll basically stay in place and it won't pop open for you. The next step is we're simply going to jack this up. Now the Wells press operates with a hydraulic press. This provides 4,000 pounds of pressure against the pineapple to extract all the liquid, all the juice from the pineapple. And if you've never had fresh pressed juice, you're definitely missing something. Fresh pressed juice by far is the best and delicious juice to taste. It is a pulp-free juice. This is 100% pineapple juice, nothing added, pure, clean liquid. Look at that coming out. Nice, clean juice. This is going to be some delicious pineapple juice. You could see very little foam. Most juicers you would use pineapple, if it even worked, would actually foam up a lot, make a lot of extra foam in the juice, which may cause some oxidation and nutrient degradation to your juice, but not so with the Wells press. Under the slow pressing effect, you know, there's very little oxidation occurring to the juice. So using the press multiplies your energy that you're pressing down into 4,000 pounds of pressure to literally press out all the juice from the pulp. This is one of the most efficient juicers on the planet for that reason. So let's go ahead and lower down the press and let's check out the pulp. Okay, so let's check the pulp out of the press. Here's the pineapple pulp. This is really super dry pulp. I'm going to go ahead and taste it, see what it tastes like. Man, have you ever had like dried pineapple and how dry it tastes? I mean, there's not pretty much any juice left in here. You can see the pineapple fibers from the core that pretty much didn't get juiced. But man, this is really dry. I guess if you really like pineapple, you might want to eat this, or you can actually probably dehydrate it in the dehydrator. But there's not a whole lot of juice left here in this pulp. The Wells press is very efficient in getting all the juice out. So we just juiced half the pineapple. Half of the pineapple just yielded over 1 cup. Let's go ahead and press out the second half of the pineapple. Once again, we just did a pretty much rough cut on the pineapple. We're going to put the pineapple once again in the press cloth. And we're just going to basically make a nice pile of pineapple chunks in the middle of the press cloth. There you go. That's all the pineapple in the press cloth. Once again, we're going to center it all up, make a nice pile in the middle so we could fold over our press cloth 4 times. Once again, that's very important. Fold over 4 times. If you just try to fold it up like this, you know, might not work that well because it's going to come open. So fold it over the exact way I'm doing it. Make like a burrito. Think making a burrito like at a Mexican restaurant. It's going to work the best that way. Let's go ahead and come around to this side. Once again, let's do that. Take one side, roll it over to the other side. And I'm almost trying to like tuck this under like I'm rolling a sushi. For those of you that roll the sushi, we'll take it over and then we'll pull it back. Make sure it's nice and tight in there. Get every last piece in there. Then fold this over second time. Then take the edge here. Try to pull it up tight. And then finally we got that's the third fold. And finally we have the fourth fold. Get nice and even. Get all that pineapple stuck back down in there. And pull that up nice and tight. All right, 4 folds. Once again, flip it up and over. Put the folds face down on the press. Turn the thumb screw. Now this thumb screw is very important. If you try to jack up and it doesn't move anywhere, that's because this thumb screw needs to be turned all the way to the right to lock it so that you can jack it up. If it's turned to the left too much, that's to let it down. And if it is turned to the left, you try to jack, it doesn't move. That's because it's not tight. So you need to turn it all the way to the right. And once again, I really like to show how easy this press is. How about with my pinky? Using my pinky to jack up the press until it gets pretty close to the top. Then I might have to use my hand. But for the most part, I mean, I'm pressing out juice right now with my pinky still. Look at all that juice coming out just with pinky power. Now I'm going to start using my hand and I could get a lot more leverage on it. And look at the juice flow. I don't know if you can see the juice on there, but look at that juice come out. I mean, that is 100% pure, clear pineapple juice. Now I could guarantee that no other juicer on the market will make the pineapple juice this clear. And this is a truly pulp-free juice. So if you want a pulp-free juice, use the Wells press. It's also going to give you a very high yield. We're going to jack this up some more. And as you can see, I probably filled the press bag a little bit too much because where the press is coming in contact, I'm sure it's pressing out all the juice. But what happened is there's a bit more pineapple pieces in there, and it's squeezed out to the side. So we're going to want to repress this. So it's always good to do smaller batches and press, maybe an extra press, then try to fit it all in, because it'll just get smushed out the sides and you won't get a high yield on the extra stuff. I think that's pretty much it. We'll let it sit there, let some additional pineapple juice drain off. Next, we're going to go ahead and rotate this. Just all it takes is like a half a turn. The handle will come down, let you know that the pressure is off the press now. We could simply lower down the press plate, and we could take out the pineapple pulp. Once again, I always like to look at the pulp and see how dry it is. And this is what happened. You could see, if you look really closely, the press was most effective in this area here, and on the edges, this pineapple was virtually not juiced. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and just fold this up and over into the middle. Once again, into the middle. We're going to try to get some of these edges up into the middle too. So we're going to go in a second round and try to get it all pressed out. So once again, we're going to make 4 folds. Fold it over once. Fold it over twice. Fold it over 3 times. And fold it over 4 times. So now we have a much smaller footprint here, so this should do much better. And once again, the secret is to put all the folds face down so it stays shut. Then all we're going to simply do is turn the thumb screw all the way to the right to lock it in place. And then we're going to simply do my favorite part, which is jacking it up. Now, this jacking is really super simple. It doesn't take much strength at all. And you know what? The great thing about this machine is if the power goes out or you don't have electricity, you could still make fresh juice. And look at all that extra juice coming out by just moving around all the pineapple pieces. Got a lot more juice coming out. So there's the rest of the pineapple juice coming out. Looks like it's done a very efficient and effective job juicing pineapples in the Wells press. So we just got done pressing out the rest of that pineapple. Now we're just going to simply turn this thumb screw. We're going to release the pressure on the press. We're going to push that press down. We're going to take out the pineapple pulp and we're going to check it out. So let's check out the pineapple pulp in here. Once again, this pineapple pulp is just one solid block, and this is very dry. Most juicers I could take the pulp and then literally put it in my hand and some juice would come out, and this is really dry pineapple pulp. So we started with one whole pineapple. We have some really dry pineapple pulp, and then we have the clear pineapple juice. Now check out this juice. This is clear pineapple juice. I know I've never tasted fresh pressed pineapple juice, so I can't wait. We yielded approximately, looks like a good 3 cups worth of juice from one pineapple, and I know most other juicers aren't that efficient, and most other juicers will make a nice foamy and frothy pineapple juice. You can see there's very little foam with this juice, and this is very clear juice. It's going to be so delicious. So hope you've learned how easy it is to juice fruits in the Wells press. Once again, we juice pineapples, but you could juice things from apples, blueberries, pears, but you know what? You can't juice bananas, even mangoes. And the best way to juice any fruit, actually, in my opinion, is using a press juicer. Most fruits, in my opinion, are better blended instead of juiced. But if you want to juice fruits, then the press is your best bet. As you can see, it did quite a good job. 3 cups, once again, of pineapple juice from one pineapple. So this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.